Digital transformation is revolutionizing the way that we live, the way we work, and the way we do business. And as technology continues to advance at breakneck speed, businesses that fail to adapt risk falling behind. But what does digital transformation really mean for organizations? And what does it take to drive successful, meaningful digital transformation? Well, today we're finding out. So pour yourself a cup of coffee and settle in. Welcome to Techforce Middle East, the podcast that celebrates trailblazers in the region. Today, I'm so excited to have Mohamed Abdul Rahim join us on the show. Mohamed has extensive experience in leading digital transformation initiatives and has had an illustrious career with some of the largest organizations in the Middle East, where he helped them drive innovation, improve business outcomes, and stay ahead of the curve. Mohamed, it's a pleasure to have you here today. Thank you so much for joining the podcast.
It's my pleasure, actually, to join you, Mark, in this episode.
Amazing. Before we start to get to know you a little bit better, shall we start with a bit of a this and that game?
Yeah.
First question, learning or teaching?
Actually, teaching what I'm learning. Yeah, I love teaching what I learn, and after the COVID or during the COVID and the lockdown, I did 3 masters. One of them in smart cities, blockchain, and digital business. And I love actually teaching what I learned and how I connect them actually in a one enterprise-driven, let's say, approach, how nations can deal with, let's say, blockchain in the digital transformation era.
Only three masters.
Smart masters, yeah.
Only 3.
No, I had one before.
Oh, so you have
10
4
years
now.
back, yeah.
4 masters. Amazing. Building things from scratch or out of the box?
Out of the box.
Why do you say that?
I don't believe that there will be a situation where you will need to start from scratch. Always you will find something to build on top of it. So I believe the way I like to do things is to look at what I have, maybe connected in a different ways, and start from that one.
Amazing. And do you prefer disruptive change or comfortable stability?
Sure, disruptive. sure, disruptive.
I'll ask you why a little bit later.
Yeah.
And what's your favorite tech gadget and why?
I don't believe that I have a preferred tech gadget. Maybe the only one is the mobile phone, if you call it, or the smartphone, if you call it a tech gadget. This is the one that I prefer. And although I worked and I'm still working in the highest level of technology, maybe driven organizations, but smartphone is the only technology that I carry. I always carry, and I use maybe 10% of the features that I'm having on the smartphones.
Well, let's get into the nitty-gritty of today's podcast. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your career and how you ended up in your current position?
I did my bachelor in automation engineering, industrial automation engineering, in 1994, and I worked in those type of things of pneumatic, hydraulic systems, PLCs, SCADA, and I did my graduation project and won a big factory in Africa. But to be honest, I couldn't find the right job actually at that time in Middle East for such a high qualified, maybe, let's say, field. So I had to switch to IT. I used to be one of those leaders who worked in Oracle, in database administration, and I used to teach those type of things even for my colleagues. That time it was really difficult to find the resources, the sources, the books. there was no YouTube that time. So, and I moved actually from a database administration where I manage technology systems to manage people. I worked in different countries in Gulf, doing things related to IT service management and then operations. Slowly I moved towards the business, and I worked as a strategic advisor for Abu Dhabi Police, where I have been introduced to different type of business, and industry, law enforcement, public safety. Then I did a couple of large consulting projects on a national level, where I help nations to build emergency and crisis management platforms. Moved to Emirates and Transport, where I met actually Salesforce as a head of IT and head of digital transformation. Then I founded Octopian Security, and I'm doing the role of CEO. So this is my journey actually towards the IT, the IT, if we can call it IT, because I like to call it information and technology, not IT alone.
And looking back at your career, what would you say is your biggest accomplishment in terms of innovation and digital transformation?
Yeah, I believe that I did like a couple of achievements I'm proud of, Ministry of Interior and Dubai Holding, where we started actually the operations, the IT operations for Dubai Holding. It was a very large and still actually very large organization, maybe the largest in Dubai that time, in Emirates Transport. But if I have to pick one, I will pick the one which we did in Abu Dhabi Police and Ministry of Interior, where I worked with a team of really committed and dedicated visionary people to start the geospatial or the national geospatial database. I'm not talking about technology only, but it's a platform. And the way we changed how law enforcement and public safety can capitalize on GIS data, information analysis to transform actually the way they fight crimes and mature the public safety index.
I've got a question which I was asking a lot of the other guests on the podcasts. You've worked here in the UAE for Abu Dhabi Police, Dubai Holdings, Emirates Transport and others. You've also worked in the UK. What's the difference in dynamics when it comes to the digital transformation here in the Middle East compared to other regions in the world?
What's the difference? To be honest, many of the initiatives that I saw in the region is or can be classified as a digital optimization rather than digital transformation, to be honest. And there is a big difference between like a digital enablement, digital optimization, and digital transformation. So the way we treat things need to be a little bit changed actually, and redefine the term digital transformation, to be honest, because digital transformation for me is like an innovation focused on disruption. And if we don't really do like disruption in the value chain, to create a new revenue stream or a new business model, we should not name this as a digital transformation initiative. But on the other hand, in Middle East and Africa, we have a high digital citizen index, because most of the people actually in Middle East and Africa we're young people. More than 30% of the population are young. They are exposed to the digital things, the technologies. So the adaptation actually is much higher here in Middle East and maybe Africa. And the leaders in Middle East, at least I can say UAE, Saudi, Jordan, they are having this vision, capitalizing on the young people to build the economy, which is not really focused on for example, the oil in UAE or Saudi. And this is, I believe, the difference between what we're having here and maybe in Europe and the US.
Many of the people in the studio have heard digital transformation for the first time today. If you were to explain it to someone who has never heard the term before, how would you explain it in the most simple terms?
The enterprise is six artifacts, which is why we're doing this, how we're doing this, who's doing this, and when we are doing those. Those are the golden questions for any enterprise, recoupling them differently to create a new revenue stream or a business model.
Brilliant.
And to do this, you need the different platforms. One of them is the technology platform, but you will need another platforms like the delivery platform, how you can do this quickly, and the way you experiment, actually, how you can do this quickly. And then, of course, the talent platform, which will help you doing those type of changes. And also the leadership platform, which is a very, very critical. Leaders who can understand those type of concepts, and they will have the capability to push it quickly, enable the talent people actually to change, to create the business value, which is the highest platform that you will need for digital transformation.
Mohamed, we talked about digital transformation, digital optimization, enterprise artifacts, asking the right questions. How important is the role of the people when it comes to digital transformation?
I believe one of the most critical issues, or if I can say it, problem for digital transformation is that most of the enterprises are doing is hiring a CDO. Yeah. It's the worst thing that you can do is to hire a chief digital officer, because those CDOs will take a hell of money, a big salary, and this is for me saying that we will give the role of digital transformation to one guy. For me, I would rather actually to hire all employees in the organization as chief digital officers, because the digital transformation, as per my philosophy, my understanding, is how to disrupt the value chain, how you change things. So those people who are really working maybe on a very lower level of responsibility, I'm not talking about, let's say, their income or their position in the organization, but I mean the lower level of responsibility in the organization. Those are the digital transformation engines. And maybe this is something that we did together, to be honest, in the innovation hub, actually, with Salesforce, where we allowed everyone actually to come up with new ways of doing things, how we can disrupt those artifacts to create the digital transformation. People is the most important, actually, to lead, to enable, to empower the digital transformation journey in any organization. And as I said, you need to make sure that you have the talent platform. Talent platform is the platform where we enable more, let's say, the leaders are enabling the people to talk about how they can lead, how they can promote ideas, how they can look at the organization from different angles. It's a very, very critical one.
You mentioned the Innovation Hub. That was some of the work that we did in Emirates Transport. You also mentioned Emirates Transport a little bit earlier. Can you talk to us about the transformation that you pioneered at Emirates Transport a few years ago?
Yeah, actually, I have been hired by Emirates Transport to lead the IT department, and actually to be maybe the digital transformation leader at that time.
Not the Chief Digital Officer.
This was not actually the title, but yeah, since day one, actually, I applied the same philosophy which I learned maybe 15 years back, actually, before I joined Emirates Transport. How I would look at the organization, I would look at all the artifacts of that large enterprise, maybe the largest actually in the world, because they were the only organization having the 5 types of fleet. We used to have 37,000 something vehicles. Maybe there are other organizations, companies across the world who's having much more vehicles than this, but the only organization that I know who's having 5 out of 5 types of fleet is Emirates Transport. They used to have a huge workshop arm across the nation, across UAE, which is also a very unique one. We used to have auction center, driving institute, where we were doing everything in transportation. And the way we started that time, we started modeling everything in the organization professionally, using things like Archimate language, business process modeling, and we looked at the organization from 6 different views, and we invented that time as IT and digital team. And I had a great team that time who helped actually to invent what we call it MAX, the mobility as experience, instead of or a revolutionary framework, if we can call it framework, to the MAS, mobility as services. So and we connected all the services that we used to provide traditionally and in a different way, and to generate different services, untraditional services. And we looked at all the data that we had, and we had a huge amount of data in a way where we can monetize the data. And my vision that time was very, very clear. I'm not the IT director, or let's say the head of IT. I treated that position as the head of information and maybe technology. And my role is actually to be like a GM for digital products, not IT directors. How I can, or how I should actually generate a new revenue stream for Emirates Transport, coming from technology, how to use the technology coming from information, and how we can use information. And to be honest, it was one of the achievements that I'm really proud of. I transformed the IT department from a cost center to a profit center. And when we signed the first project as a profitable project from IT and information with more than 50 something million, it was really a big achievement for myself and for the team, who really made it possible.
Of course, I have to ask the question, what role did Salesforce play in this transformation at Emirates Transport?
Yeah. See, when I joined Emirates Transport, I knew that I will not be able to do this without, let's say, the right people, and of course the right leaders. But let me focus on people here. So my team, and how I can make everyone of this IT department like a digital transformation engine. And I knew that I will not be able to do this without the right digital transformation partner. And I was looking for, as I said, a digital transformation partner, not a technology partner. And maybe you know that in my career, I dealt with many, not many, maybe hundreds, thousands of organizations, because I used to work on a very prestigious organizations, companies, government even. So, and everyone is trying actually to come to UAE to work and sell to those organizations. So I was not really looking for a technology partner. I was looking for a digital transformation partner, and there's a big difference between this. And I found this with Salesforce, because maybe that time, and I understand that at the end Salesforce is selling technologies. But what I saw that time is like how Salesforce team, they were working and helping us actually to generate more ideas, generate more like innovative ideas, disruptive ideas, and then to show how we can do it on technology. And when we had that great workshop in UK, when I went there with a couple of my colleagues, and we had that workshop where Salesforce brought industry leaders. Some of them, and a few of them were from transportation, but the industry leaders showed how they did digital transformation in their industries. And as you know, when in digital era, the industries are melting. So we learned that time. Salesforce learned from us few things about transformation. We learned from Salesforce digital transformation initiative, and maybe in transportation and healthcare and banking. This is where we made that large engine of generating ideas. And then we did the innovation hub, and I believe it was the first innovation hub in the Middle East. And I'm very proud that Emirates Transport was the first one actually to be included in that program. It was like a grade 3 consecutive days where everyone from Emirates Transport actually enjoyed, and they spent the full day. None of them actually
left.
Just left. So this is how Salesforce helped. And of course, then we went into the technology, which is the traditional things where Salesforce actually helped us with the technology framework, technology platform. And this is one of your...
Mohamed, I can also say that it's a highlight of my career working with you at Emirates Transport, and Salesforce is very grateful for the trust that you put in us during that tremendous time that we spent together transforming Emirates Transport from what it was to what it is now and what it's going to be in the future. A very important question I wanted to ask you is, do you think Arsenal are going to win the Premier League?
I believe since until last week, I believe they were behind 3 points. No, I don't believe that with this, and because my boy Ward, he's like a fan of De Bruyne, and now with Haaland. So no, I would like actually Manchester City to win the league.
So you're going to change your allegiance?
I have to.
Yeah. Amazing. Something that you might not know, but you are a bit of a mentor to me when we were working together at Emirates Transport. I learned a lot from you, and a lot of the terminology that you used and a lot of the terms that we learned from you, I use to this day with many customers. What advice do you have for youngsters starting out their careers, currently thinking about whether to go into engineering or becoming a doctor or looking at IT or computer science?
Yeah, actually now I'm leading the CEO of Octopian Security, and we're doing a huge work in Jordan on a national level, and part of what we are doing. We're doing this in training, awareness sessions, workshops for more than 34 universities in Jordan. So I've been asked this question many times, and my answer for the students who are studying IT, AI, data management, whatever, cybersecurity, learn industry. They have to learn industry. They have to prepare themselves actually to come to someone like maybe Mohamed Abdul Rahim, who's looking for an IT guy who really understand the transportation. For example, if when I was there in Emirates Transport, for someone who's coming with banking knowledge, even if he is starting his career, but you need to learn at least one industry. I don't believe that IT alone is fine. To be honest, I'm fighting now to change the IT bachelor to IT bachelor in transportation, or IT bachelor in banking, or IT bachelor in healthcare. And I'm working actually on building this, helping some universities to build this specialization, which is IT in health, or even a health care specialist who learn how to do project management for healthcare, who learn in the university how to do data analysis for healthcare, cybersecurity for healthcare. So my advice is you have to learn industry.
When you mean learn industry, you mean learn a specific industry, a specific vertical, and specialize in that?
Yes, get specialized in one industry, and this will never limit you or restrict you. because the demand is much higher if you will have industry. Actually, my daughter, I don't know if I can say this, she might get angry. She was listening to me actually in two different calls. Actually, she's stopping her ears, and I didn't know that actually. And she came to me and she said that whomever saying anything, you're saying yes, 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 and you're going actually with his approach. I told her how come. She told me I heard you saying that there is a huge number of IT people. I told her yes, and she said, and I heard you also saying for in another call that yes, there is no like IT people. So you're contradicting, or I don't know who's on the other line, but whatever he's saying, you're saying yes. I told her no. This is my belief. There are a huge number of IT people having tags. But when the other guy on the other phone was asking me for the skilled or qualified that I can hire, I told him there's no people. I like having this skills and qualifications. So it's your choice to be one of those who's having a tag of IT, tag of AI or data science or even cybersecurity, or you are having a qualification in IT. And the qualification in IT should be really focused on industry. And it will never restrict you, actually. Those who are saying, because I had this challenge before, this discussion. Yeah, but if you would focus on health, you will limit yourself only to health. You will not be able to work on banking. Yes, but now everyone is looking for that one, not the generic like IT skills or qualifications.
And what advice would you give yourself starting out when you first started your career based on what you know now?
Myself. Okay. The same advices that I'm giving to my boys and also my daughter. She's studying digital marketing now, but I'm giving her and also the kids the same that I would give myself maybe if it goes back. Learn how to reflect the golden questions into anything that you are doing, and not only reflecting the questions, because if you're asking, I'm a why guy actually, and I always ask why we are doing this, and why we are doing this way, and why we are doing this that time, why we are doing this with this thing. So understand the golden questions, reflect them into the enterprise-driven like terms, goals, things and materials, locations, roles and responsibilities, and also connect them, because it's not only ask the question, but ask the question and connect it to other artifact. This is one. The second advice is learn industry.
So when you say the golden questions, what are they? You're saying why, how, where, what, and when?
And who.
And who?
Yes.
Okay.
And if you translate them into like the professional or maybe the enterprise things, the why is the goals, strategic objectives, those type of things, or why we established this organization, why we created this project, and how is what we call it usually the process, the activities, the policies, the who is the roles and responsibilities, what is things, materials, technologies, events, or when is the events, the triggers, the schedules, and the where is, as you know, the location, geography, where we do things. And this is how we identify any organization, to be honest. I used to laugh, actually, when some consulting firms, they used to come to me and tell me that, listen, we are not only analyzing the technology, we're analyzing people, process, and technology. PPT. You heard about PPT? I used to say, yes, I heard about PPT. So they used to say, we are tackling the PPT. And I used to answer, yes, thank you. You're tackling 50% of the organization. What about the others? Because the first P, which is the process, is how. The second one, which is the people, is who. And the T might be one of the things.
One of the what's.
One of the what's. What about the other three?
I think this is a perfect time to end. Mohamed, thank you so much for joining us on Techforce Middle East. It's been a pleasure to have you. I think there are so many lessons that people can take from this. Thank you again for being with us today.
The pleasure is mine. Thank you.
Thank you. You've helped us to really understand more about how the Middle East is digitally transforming and how businesses everywhere can embrace their own digital transformation journeys. And thank you, dear listener, for joining us on today's podcast of Techforce Middle East. I'll see you on the next one.